Hello everyone, today on Scottish Memories we are chatting to Jye McDowall. How are you all? Hope you are all happy and healthy and well out there. I'm so excited to be back doing Scottish Memories interviews. So as a lot of you might know, it's a proper passion project of mine. So to get the chance to keep doing them is genuinely an honour. And I am really excited to be kicking off this next series of interviews with Jye McDowall. Some of you might recognise Jye McDowall as the 2011 winner of Britain's Got Talent. Jye, hello, how are you?
I'm not too bad, Tony, how are you?
I'm not bad. Thank you so much for doing this. It genuinely means the world. I'm really excited to get to chat to you today.
Thank you. Yeah, it'll be good. I mean, I don't know how much I know about tourism in Scotland, but we'll be fine.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm just because you're from. Let me get this right. You're Ayrshire or born or
Yes.
from Ayrshire,
Yes.
right? So you're like because it's a bit of Scotland that I've never really been to.
Oh, really? What? Why not?
I know.
We've got everything. We've got beaches. We've got beaches. No, I'm kidding. Beaches and hills and castles and all sorts of cool stuff.
Well, in fairness, in Scotland, you know, we can't throw a stone without hitting a castle.
Hitting a castle, I know. To be fair, I said castles and I was like, I don't know why I said that because everywhere's got a castle.
I remember an Eddie Izzard sketch about when they were building the Euro Disney, which is Disneyland Paris now, and they started to build the castle, and they turned round and went, "We better make the castle bigger. They've actually got them over this side of the world, so like bring in more blue plastic."
Fair enough. It's quite an impressive castle. So
we got married at Disney, so I can't.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
It was my own fault though.
Slightly jealous.
We went on holiday to Disney World, and I proposed during the fireworks at Disney World. And after she said yes, the second thing out her mouth was, "Well, we have to get married here." And I was like,
"Well,
so
fair enough."
I did that to myself.
To be fair though, that's kind of cool.
It is. It is. Whenever I say it, it always gets the same reaction of what? Quickly followed by, "Was Mickey Mouse there?"
Was he though?
No. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say how much it was to add Mickey Mouse coming to your wedding.
Oh no! I mean, to be fair,
yeah. He's a busy guy. You know what I mean? He's a busy guy.
The highest paid mouse in town.
I know. I'm not here to talk about my wedding.
Aye.
So, like I said, you're from Ayrshire. What part of Ayrshire are you from then?
So originally, I grew up in Turbolton, which is about 7 miles out of here. But I now live in here for the next 9 days, and then I'm moving to another part of Ayrshire for an intern period, just while I go off and tour and start working again. Yay!
Has it been a bit of an itching to get back out there and get on the road?
No idea. I've just so my first gig is, so I don't know when this will air, but my first gig is the 25th of July.
Right.
It just so happens to be the day after my birthday, so I'm treating it as a big birthday party. But that's my first live gig since March 14th, I think, last year. Right. So it's been a while.
Yeah, it really
I've done a lot of
has.
virtual stuff, and I've been lucky that I've managed to keep doing some stuff, but it's not the same. Like it's just not the same. And so I'm really, really excited to do that. And then August, I've got a few things dotted about, and then I go off on tour properly. And actually, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of, can't say that word, I'm kind of panicking about it because it's been so long. Like, like before lockdown, I was away and I was singing all the time anyway. But you're kind of that way. It's like, although I sing in the house all the time, it's not the same as going on stage and belting your, can't say that word either.
It's all right. I can
Singing really loud.
I can beep when it goes on YouTube. I can beep it, but on the podcast, which is exactly the same version, you can say what you like. So it's fine.
Ah, see, well, there we go. Okay, I'll just move on from that, and I'll remember that I can say silly things.
Yeah,
but basically, belting when you're belting for hours and hours, it can be quite tiring. But the thing is, I've just been off it for so long. I'm kind of panicking a little bit. It's like we've got 2 weeks rehearsal for this tour, and I'm probably going to spend most of that with a throat, like, hi everybody, and I'll be in London, so nobody will understand what I'm saying to begin with.
You like me? Does your accent get lighter the further down south you go?
Well, I like to think it does, but I don't know, because I remember doing. So I know it's not down south, but I remember doing the Edinburgh Fringe. And friends came to see me doing the Fringe, and they were like, "What was the accent?" I don't know. I was trying to be polite, I think, and it just. But I've noticed through the years, though, when I'm trying to be really polite, I think I sound like I'm from like Inverness or something, Highlands. I don't know. I just seem to sound more Scottish than I normally do, but I probably don't. I don't know.
It's like a Scottish telephone voice, isn't it? It's like as soon as you're like hello, and it's like that's not how I talk. I said this in another interview lately as well, because we were chatting about it. I went to college in London. I went to drama school in London, and my flatmates used to say whenever I phoned home, never understood a word I was talking about.
To be fair, I love so cruises are actually quite bad for that, I think. Because when you meet another Scottish person on a cruise, the people round about you go, "What's happening here?" Because immediately I start talking different, they start talking different, and it just goes mental. I mean, the first time I think that ever actually happened to me after BGT was actually on Lorraine.
Right.
And the two of us, my mum was like, it was so funny because both of you were getting progressively worse as the interview went on. And I was like, oh no. So it was quite funny. Although it was nice. It's nice. I love Lorraine. I think she's cracking. So I think it would be quite funny to. I don't think I've ever watched it though. Maybe should to see.
I'm going to have to look it up. I'm going to have to look up. See if
I might have to.
It'll be the speed, because I think we get quicker. Yeah. We just gradually speed, and then we're off. And if someone from anywhere else in the world is standing beside us, they're struggling really.
Aye.
But you'd be surprised how many comments that I get on various things that I do, that the Scottish accent is loved. You know, when we're not full pace with ourselves. Outside of Scotland, people really enjoy our lilt, for lack of a better word.
I think it was nice. It was like, see, I told you. I don't know what that is. I don't know who. That's not my dog. That's noise. I don't know who that is. Somebody's coming in the house.
If I tell you to turn round, then you better turn round quickly.
I'm going to take this earphone out. Just wait a minute. Hello? No, it's my dog. My dog's right in the house.
That's fine.
My dog's still there, so it's fine. Nobody stole my dog. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah,
I can't remember.
So I can't remember either. Oh yes, no, I was doing radio interviews and years and years ago, and I think it was like Armed Forces Radio, and the fellow interviewing me said, if singing doesn't work out for you, which I was like, pardon, I'm just starting out, but okay, go into like audiobooks, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. Why am I putting you to sleep? Is this a sleep app thing? Although, in all fairness, my singing does that. I remember my niece, she was quite young in all fairness, came to one of the very first gigs she ever came to of mine. She fell asleep, and I was like, great. But that's kind of my fault, because normally I'd sing her to sleep. So right. I think that was my fault. Yeah, she was at a gig with about 700 other people sleeping.
Yeah. But then, in fairness, kids can sleep anywhere. Kids could fall, because we've got a 9-month-old, and she's just. I'm really just
tired. You're like, I am.
I am a little bit tired. I am a little bit tired. What you can't see is like just there's everything to keep me awake. Literally anything I could like to keep me awake. But she's getting to the stage where she is now becoming a better sleeper now, slowly, 9 months in. But there are certain songs that all of a sudden she just calms. You know what I mean? We play them, all of a sudden she's just like, yeah. Maybe not go to sleep, but definitely it changes. So I'm not surprised. If your niece was used to the sound of your voice going to sleep, she probably just thought the whole room. Are we all going to bed? All right.
Yeah. Night, everyone.
Yeah. So since you were talking about your gigging, obviously that must take you around Scotland quite a lot, really, with bits and bobs like that.
Yeah. I've been. Where's the furthest up north? Elgin, I think, maybe. Yeah, Elgin. And then like places like Galashiels. I'd never been to Galashiels before gigging there.
Do you have a favourite? Do you have a favourite that if you're going?
I mean, Glasgow. That's everybody's answer, but the audiences are always great. Although I do love going up to Aberdeen. Like I love that sort of area, Inverness, Aberdeen, right up north, because they're very appreciative. Because they don't often get people going all the way up to places. So I think they're a very good appreciative audience, and it's nice to go up. Like, so I mentioned Bankery there. I played Bankery. I think it was the Town Hall, probably.
Right.
Once, and it was great. Absolutely brilliant audience. What they didn't know was I'd been out to 3 in the morning in Aberdeen the night before. It was a horrible. So I don't drink when I gig. This gig is why, because I went out with the person that was putting on the show used to live up that way, so he knew people. So they were like, "Oh, come to this club and come here." Oh God, I got up the next morning. I couldn't speak. They made breakfast. I couldn't eat it because I was going to be sick. It was horrible. I was just like, this is torture. I then didn't speak all day because I'd ruined myself. Yeah. And then steaming, so I had my steamer, and the caretaker from the town hall come into the dressing room and looked at me as if like, this guy on weed? What's this guy doing? Because I'm using like one of the Dr. Nelson steamers. So obviously he didn't know what that was and thought I was using a bong, basically. But I got through the gig and it was great. And I remember, so I was staying in, as I say, my friend used to live up that way, so I was staying in like a wee B&B, kind of, just like a wee cottage B&B though. And the woman that came in to kind of clean up and make the nice breakfast that I couldn't eat, she says, if that's you, she called me, was it a loon? I can't remember. They use funny words like that way. But she says, if that's you, I seen you this morning, you couldn't speak, and if that's you, no even full voice, I'm coming back to see you. And she has I don't know, I've lost count of the amount of times I've seen her at gigs now. I'm like, yes.
That's lovely.
New fan.
That's lovely.
New fan. I
did that mistake once. I'm the same as you. I had an audition. I was doing a national tour of a play years ago. And the same production company said, we're going to put on a national tour of Jekyll and Hyde. Do you want to audition? And I went, yeah, I'd love to. And I was working for the company at the time. So I thought, and they'd asked me, I thought, all right, okay, I've got a good chance. Right. Day after my birthday was the audition. Oh. And my flatmate at the time, my best mate, he just moved out of the flat and moved in with his now wife. But he'd left me in with kind of stuck in the flat on my own, still with a contract. And I think he felt sorry for having to, leave. Well, not having to, but leaving.
Yeah.
So he went, "Come on, take you out for your birthday." And I was a mess. Like I was a mess because I used to, in my younger days, not now, be able to do a pint in 3 seconds.
Woofed. Hiya.
I know. And whenever a new person came in, he was like, "Do the thing," and he'd bring me another pint. So I was not good in the morning, and then I went to this audition properly. Like it was awful. I was, because it wasn't at night time. I didn't have a chance to steam.
No.
I was still steaming. You know what I mean? And then I had to continue. It was halfway through the tour. I had to then continue the tour with this company, and I just sort of had to apologize. I said, "I'm really sorry." Funnily enough, they didn't give me an audition for anything else after that.
Aww.
However, I did finish the play well. They were happy with acting wise, but they like singing wise. They were like, nah, "We won't see you for a singing part again." Now I was like, "Oh, that's fair. That's fair."
But I mean, singing part sober? No.
Yeah,
you should just start it singing in the dressing rooms, just casually.
Yeah. So I'm just warming up. What are you for? It's a play. Shut up.
This is the moment. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. The thing is, it was only for the chorus as well. Like I mucked it up for the chorus, so I was like, "Oh well." It's maybe why I do this now instead of singing nowadays.
You still do it. Oh crikey! I mean, don't drink before an audition or a gig. No. It's bad for you. I don't honestly though. There are some people out there. Like I've done a few pantos now, and
I love panto. I
love them too. Loved it, or love it rather. I'm gonna love it. I'm doing it this year as well. I'm playing the Beast. I've went from Prince Charming to Beast.
That's an age thing, unfortunately. I went from leading man to either cop or thug, so I don't know what that says about either cops or thugs. You know.
Yeah. Oh well, but to be fair, no, but the dancers, they can go out, get drunk, come in, do their bit, still sing. They still sing.
Yeah,
I'm like, you're still singing and hitting all these weird and wonderful notes because panto companies seem to do that. They give you a pop song and they're like, we're just going to add a million harmonies in here. That one's really high. Just you hit that.
Yeah, take it up a key or two as well. All right, okay.
Mad. But I just don't understand how they can. Like I remember doing the very first tour, I was boring. Like I was so boring. Coming off BGT, I was so paranoid because I was like, I don't know this world. I'm not a pro. Like I didn't train, so I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I need to be really good. Can't go out. All the dancers are going out and they're living up their best life. And every major city in the UK, and I've got my bed for 10:30. Thanks, guys. Bye. And it was the same like with the album. I remember I was telling somebody this story the other day. I had the chance to meet One Direction twice before they went massive, because we had the same management and tour company and stuff at the time. Yeah. And because I was in London recording my album, I was like, no, I need to rest, sort my throat out and all that jazz. I was like, I should have just went.
Yeah.
Just went, got drunk with the boys. Yeah. Might have been my pals.
Hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? It's just like...
Oh, I know. I mean, I'm a great believer in the whole what's funny, you'll know go by you, but at the same time, you're like, why did I not just go and get drunk?
While you sort of mentioned the BGT thing, your version of the Evanescence song, when you did that, it's still one of my... It's brilliant.
Oh, I love it.
Still, if there's anyone out there that hasn't seen you sing that, it's still brilliant to watch.
Oh, thank you. Oh no, it's genuinely one of my favourites. I've got to have it in pretty much every set. I used to open with it all the time because I was like, I don't really know where I can put this song, so I'll just stick it at the start. Big B flat at the end. Yeah. Happy days, Jai. I'm like, what?
Let's get that big note out right at the beginning, then, shall we?
That's me. I'm warmed up. That's fine. No, but it's it's one of my favourites, and I've sang it a few times. Like I do cruise ships as well. I've sang it with a live band, and it's really weird because they put like horns in and stuff.
Yeah,
and you're like, this sounds really funny, but I like it. It's just weird.
No, it is. It's still it is a brilliant. You're right. That last note, you're just like when you're sitting watching it, you're just like, oh my god. So I mean, kudos to you. Well done. Well done. I'll bring us back to Scotland a little bit, if that's all right.
Oh, I know.
So when you were younger, growing up, was it staycations, Scotland holiday wise, or did you go many other places?
No, actually, we went mostly abroad. So my mum loves the sun. My mum's a sun worshipper.
Mum and dad were the same.
Yeah. So we went holidays. We were really lucky as kids. We went holidays pretty much every year because my mum like just loves going away. Like, see this whole 18 months of not being able to go out or go away and get the sun. She's raging. Um, but
Well,
no,
it's sunny right now. The sun is hitting
I
us
know.
right
Oh,
now.
this is incredible. Like I say I love it. As I say, I'm currently packing up a house in this heat, so I'm like, oh my god. I did go and get a haircut for today, just in case. I was like, I better make myself presentable because I looked scruffy and sweaty. I was like,
I look like this all the time. There's not much I can do.
It's fine.
That's easy to maintain, though.
Oh, I know. See, during BGT days, and I had a skinhead. I loved it. No product, no nothing. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But no, we went abroad quite a lot. And really, I didn't actually travel around Scotland properly until I was 19, 20. Like, I passed my driving test, and I remember saying that. We had, so the kids, the Alexanders, they were called, but they lived about four doors down, but it was four, yeah. So there's parents and then four kids. So they used to go all around Scotland all the time. And I remember thinking when I got older, I was like, I saw really nice places like around the world, but I've never seen my own country. And I actually hated that. So I was like, as soon as I got my driving license, me and my best friend growing up jumped in the car and went up the west coast all the way to the top and all the way back down, and kind of stopped over in random places when you could stop over on the night and be like, I'm going into this B&B before booking.com and just chat the door and be like, you got a room?
Yeah.
And it was great. It was absolutely great. Like, we went to, was it Ullapool? We stopped off in Ullapool and then we went way up north to Smoo Caves. Like, and I mean, if you haven't been up there, they're incredible. Like, the further you got up, especially in weather like this, it's probably going to look as if you're in like Barbados or something.
Yeah.
The sand gets so white and so clean, and it's so nice.
But there are parts of up the north of Scotland, the beaches are so beautiful that when the weather gets like this, a lot of the travel companies go up there and film and make adverts for like Bermuda and Barbados and things because they're not flying people out there, but the beaches and the sea is beautiful and blue and it looks lovely. So half of those beautiful adverts, they're filmed up north.
I mean, that's cheating, but okay.
That's why you mostly see them sitting on the beach instead of running into the ocean, though.
Although a lot of people are doing that these days too. Thanks, Wim Hof.
They are as well.
Yeah.
So many people just going, let's jump in the sea. I'm like, you're nuts.
Aye, a wee bit. Although I did do the cold shower thing for a wee while. Still, occasionally, if I'm like really tired, I'll be like, turn it down. I need to wake up. But no, I haven't done the cold water swim thing yet. And paddle boards are a thing. What's going on?
I know. Because see, like, there's the whole Billy Connolly thing about when he was a kid up in going on holidays in Aberdeen and getting the woolen trunks put on and getting shoved into the North Sea. Just be like, that's the North Sea. You know what I mean? You go around the corner and it's the North Pole. It's not that far away.
No. I mean, in all fairness, when we were kids, like where I grew up was a wee village, and 2.5 miles away was a place called Stair. And that's where you go. As kids, you just walk down with your towels all the way to Stair as a big group of kids, go swimming, walk home. And it was great. Like, it was one of the best things ever. And then there's a place, Maidens, mum and dad are actually, they lived down there. And we used to go down and go swimming in Maidens Beach and just things like that. And it was great.
I mean, we've got, I'm an Edinburgh lad, so obviously we've got Portobello and it's a beautiful beach. Mm-hmm. And we're obviously a bit further south down, but I still wouldn't do it.
I mean, I'm tempted. I'm not going to lie. There's been a few days where I'm just like, I'm out a walk with the dog or something. I'm really warm. I could go a wee dip.
yeah, I get that, especially when it's like this.
It's just too nice. It is. It's lovely, and I think as well, as I was saying, when it's times like this, you find like people doing a lot more here. Like, you know, like even exercising and stuff outside and bike riding and all that kind of thing. It just makes you feel good. Nice wee
You
bit
know,
of
the one
sunshine.
good thing that's kind of came from, well, I mean, the whole lockdown thing's been horrible, but I think what it has done is it has made us appreciate what we've got round about us a little bit more. And I don't know what it's like where you are, but because all the rules of pubs and restaurants, you have to be outside for a big chunk of it, everywhere's now got outdoor seating.
Yeah.
And we seem to be embracing that a little bit more, which is nice.
I actually think I've always loved that though. Like, I know it's not Scotland, but you go to Paris, everywhere's got outside seating, pretty much. Like, and I mean, obviously they've got slightly better weather most of the time.
Oh, you bet.
But it is nice, and I think like there's a lot of places down here that didn't have beer gardens that now have beer gardens, and it's great for things like days like this. You're outside, you're getting drunk, you're laughing with your pals, you're getting a burnt forehead or head.
Or everything. The sun shines down to me, I'm fighting back. It's bouncing back and trying to burn the sun.
But no, I just think it's great. I think that those kind of things are brilliant, and I love, like, I just like being outside, having a wee coffee outside, things like that in the sun. It's great. I'm also a bit of a sun worshipper, unfortunately.
My mum and dad were the same though. When I was a kid, we didn't explore Scotland very much when I was young. I was the same as you. They would take us abroad and things like that. And I think one of the first times I remember going up north properly was Wick, right up there. And it was with the school. The school organised a basketball game. We didn't have a basketball team.
Oh.
There was a load of us that just enjoyed a couple of times a week during our lunch hour. They would let us into the gym and just play. So we just played. So this teacher, to try to encourage us, organised a game for us. For some reason, he picked a school in Wick. I think he had something to deliver. And he decided to go. So we got up early in the morning, drove all the way up to Wick for this basketball game, got thrashed. I mean, it was embarrassing. Got on the bus and drove all the way down. And that was it. We saw nothing. We went all the way up to the top of Scotland, got beat at basketball, came all the way down. But it was a day out.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's one of the things as well. Although I travel a lot, gigging and stuff, you never really see an awful lot of it. That's the sad thing, because you're always like, you get there, kind of walk. It's actually, well, I've done a tour a couple of years ago, and it was with an actual tour bus where, so obviously you were in the next place overnight sort of thing. And that was good because you could get up during the day, go a wander, and then go to the theatre at night time. So I did see a bit more then, but normally you're like driving to the next place, and then you're just like, and I'm terrible. See if my sat nav says 4.5 hours, that's all I allocate. Traffic be damned.
Yeah, so I do like to play the game where you got the sat nav and it says 4.5 hours, and you're like, I can beat that.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm terrible. Well, so I've done that a couple of times, but I'm a chicken. I don't, like, my friends make a fool of me. They're like, you drive like an old woman. I'm like, I've not crashed. Oh, yeah. But yeah, so it's like, I just can't. And especially because I have been caught speeding, by the way. So I do drive like an old woman or an old man, because some old women are mental and they drive faster than me. But I've been caught speeding a couple of times. So I'm like, no, I need to be cautious, because if I get caught speeding again, no more license.
See, I'm the opposite. I've never been caught speeding, and when I do play the game, I don't speed. I'm always like, no, I know a quicker route than that. I can beat you.
Fair enough.
Because half the time, it's taking you the main roads. I'm like, no, I can cut across here. I can get me. So, but I'm always, as soon as I see it go down from say 4 hours to 3 hours 50 minutes, I'm like, right, 10 minutes gone. I can do better than that.
Aye, it's quite it is addictive, and weirdness. I mean, it's probably a dangerous addiction to have. But you're like,
there are worse ones to have. There are worse ones
down. No, but I do like I love a long drive. Like, I'm going to Aberdeen next weekend. No. Yeah, next weekend.
Yeah.
Cruden Bay. I've never been before, but a friend's brother, he's from up that way, and his brother owns a hotel and they're selling it. So he was like, let's go up to the brother's hotel, have a good weekend before he sells it. And I was like, okay. And I looked it up, and actually it's a lovely wee bay. And if there's not much to do, I don't think, but I just think it'll be nice, relaxing, especially if the weather stays like this. It'll be a nice, relaxing.
Absolutely. I'm the same as you though. I love a good long drive.
I might go and have a dip in the North Sea. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah. I mean, you're on your own there. I'm not joining you.
No.
But no, I'm the same as you. I love a nice long drive. It really, I find it clears the head, and especially, I mean, where we are, like you were saying, we don't really take advantage. But the scenery when you're driving anywhere around Scotland is it's ridiculous. Truthfully, it really is. Like I've seen myself looking out here just over the Forth, and like taking a picture on my phone or something. And if I do share it on anything, I'll have to say I'm not putting a filter on this. That's what it looks like, because we're ruined by it sometimes. I think we definitely are, and like here as well, because we're on the west coast. We've got like that Isle of Arran on, where you can see it, but the sun sets pretty much behind it, and you're just like, you can't beat this. Like, you get the beach, you've got Arran, you've got a beautiful sun. Like last night, it was a nice red sun, and I was like, this is just cracking. Yeah.
Why, like, because people, like, especially early on in my career, they used to just assume I lived in London. And I'm like, no, I still live in Scotland. I've never moved. And the only way I would move is if I was doing a show, I had to work in London or whatever. Because as I say, like here, for instance, I'm 40 minutes from Glasgow. I've got a beach on my doorstep. There's castles and things to do and country parks and all that jazz. Why would I move?
Yeah.
Like, it's mad. I don't know why. What they need to do though is fly from Prestwick to London. Just make it easier on me.
I've been at Prestwick once.
If anybody's listening.
I've been at Prestwick Airport once. It was to pick up my wife's sister when she came home one time. We drove along, and I was like, I'd never been before, and it was like Prestwick Airport, Glasgow Prestwick Airport, and when I got there, I was like, this is not Glasgow Prestwick Airport.
No. Not
because I drove to Edinburgh. I was like, I just went from Edinburgh to Glasgow and then back again, essentially, with a distance. You know what I mean? Because it felt like that sort of distance. I was like, this is the Glasgow Prestwick is a slight exaggeration.
It's definitely, yeah. I don't actually understand why it is Glasgow Prestwick and not just Prestwick Airport.
However, they're the only place that Elvis landed in Scotland, isn't there?
He did.
They love that.
And Beyonce's been there as well. She landed there. The Air Force One lands there when it was Trump, because he's got Trump Turnberry down this way. So he's landed in there. Yeah, so there's been a few. There's actually been quite a few. I can't... in my head right now it's saying the Beatles, but I think I'm wrong. I think I'm making that up. Unless somebody's told me that, but then I don't know why I would be telling you if not. But there has been a few. Few.
Because I think like Elvis there, though, it's the only place in Britain he ever hit.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There's a full story there that I can't quite remember about something about his manager, the Colonel, and not booking him outside of America because he couldn't travel outside of America. There's a story there. Oh. But yeah, it's the only place that Elvis ever... And he didn't gig. He just landed and then I think left again. But he was like, oh yeah, off the plane away again.
Well, they're still dining after that one because there's definitely... I'm sure the bar is an Elvis bar or something to that effect. I'm pretty sure it is.
And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
I know. Why not? It's apparently, I read something, and I'm sure this is true. Read something recently that apparently there's going to be a spaceport down that way soon. Yep.
Like Virgin or something like that, like for Prestwick to space.
I don't know. I really want to get my phone and Google this because I feel like I'm gonna while we're talking because I don't want to be spreading false information.
I mean, that'll be a selling point. I mean, they'll put an Elvis wig on the top of the rocket, but still. Yeah.
That's good. Spaceport, Prestwick. Yeah, Prestwick Spaceport is set to become one of Europe's leading spaceports. GPA is set, or Glasgow Prestwick Airport, is set to become the leading horizontal launching spaceport in Europe, provided by 2035. Got another like 13 years to wait. Okay. 14 years to wait.
I'll not book my ticket quite yet there.
Nah, me not. Me neither. I'll be there. I'll go into space for Prestwick. If they do it, I would. I mean, I don't know. Do you know that way? You're like, ooh, because
my wife's told me you're not doing it. You're not, and I'm like, oh, come on. She's like, no. Nah. Apart from the fact I'd probably have to sell the house. She's like, no.
There is also that.
Yeah. Like, I'll start to round up because I know you're busy and things. But before we go to my last bit, if someone was going to visit anywhere in Scotland, because I'm very lucky, like I said, I've got people that watch planning their holidays from all over the world. What would be your top tips?
Of places to go.
Anything. If someone was coming to Scotland, what would you say?
Bring clothes for every eventuality. No, I think you've got to prepare for a bigger trip than you think. Like I know people that maybe in America will be like, oh, it's so small, but it's actually not. There's so much to do. There's so much to see. Like there's stuff even around Ayrshire that I've not seen, and people recently, like because obviously they've only been able to go nearby, they're going to see things, and I'm like, that's here. Are you kidding me? So it's like mazes and I don't know castles and other wee country bits and just walks. Even like the walking is huge. Like I've never done the West Highland Way. I'd love to, but just things like that, like go up Ben Nevis, big walking shoes. I don't know.
There was a comment I got on a video once that it stuck in my head, and I've said it a couple of times, that someone said they came to Scotland and they goes, I could see Scotland in 2 weeks, but it'd take a lifetime to discover it.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Which I thought was nice. They're right. You could go around and you can see the highlights in about 2 weeks. But if you actually take your time, you're right. There's all these little bits that even here where I am, all of a sudden something will pop up on my phone. I'm like, is that here?
Yeah.
It's lovely.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It's nice. And I think, it is a beautiful country. And I remember flying over. So I went to Iceland once, and I remember just flying back from Iceland, and I looked out the window and I cried, genuinely cried at the beauty of this country. Like, I was like, this is incredible. We live in such a beautiful place. We are very lucky, and I really wish us as a nation would embrace that, because we really are. We really are lucky to live where we are. We could live anywhere.
I think we're gradually getting better. I think we're.
I think we are.
There's a little self-deprecation in us all. You know what I mean? We kind of put ourselves down a little bit, but and we always do it with humour. Yeah, it's the rain. You can't help it.
The rain.
We do it with humour, but I think we are getting a little bit better at going, you know what? We're actually very cool. It's a cool place. Yeah. It's a nice place to see. Right, I like to round off with what I call difficult questions for us Scots.
Oh.
Yeah. This is where we really get to know you now, Jai. So, shortbread or tablet?
Oh, no.
Yeah, see?
Tablet. Oh.
Is it the sugar? I mean, you got to have the sugar.
Both, but I'm a sugar man.
Yeah. So, again, this is one that I like to... It's a side question of that. Was it a granny thing with you? Was it you... like? Because my mum's mum, was always making tablet or shortbread. She would go between.
I think it might have been my mum, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think my mum made tablet when we were kids, and then it was just like Halloween. Like folk round about my area would make tablet for Halloween, and I loved it. But yes, give it. And now I can't pass a tablet. And the shops, when they sit it, is it Mrs. Tilly's or something?
Yeah.
When they sit it in the wee bags, and they're just like, take it. I'm like, oh, I don't need it, but it's mine.
It's like that thing where you go to like any shop and they've got chocolate there, and they're like, okay, I'll give you that. And would you like this bar of chocolate as well? I'm like, well, since you asked so nicely.
I know. I'm a sucker for advertising.
Yeah, I know. Iron brew or whiskey?
Oh,
See, this is the real questions here. This is the important questions.
I can't ask for both, but I'm going to go for Iron Brew only because I can drink that anytime.
That's fair. That's a logical answer. That is a logical answer, especially if you've got gigs coming up again soon.
Yeah.
You're back in the singing. The whiskey better go on hold for a wee while. Since obviously you're not an Edinburgh lad, chippy sauce. Have you tried our chippy sauce down here?
No. Is it curry sauce? What is it?
No. This is an ongoing thing that Glasgow hates it because the chippies over here they do a thing where they get an old juice bottle, glass, usually has to be a glass juice bottle, fill it half with brown sauce, fill it half with vinegar, mix it up, and then that's chippy sauce. And over here, this side, it's like the golden chalice of what you put in a chippy. You go outside the sort of central Edinburgh and roundabout, everyone else is like, what is that stuff you put in your chips?
I mean, I've never heard of that in my life. Although, to be honest, if I'm in Edinburgh, I'm at the Fringe and I don't ever go for a chippy.
That's fair. That's fair. But you'll need to try it at least once. You'll need to try it.
Hundreds of money on so much food during the Fringe.
Yeah. Next time you're down this way, give me a shout and I'll take you out for a chippy and you can get some chippy sauce. Haggis, sneeps and tatties or mince and tatties?
Haggis. Oh God, I don't know.
See, these are difficult questions, aren't they?
I mean, I'm a vegetarian now, but back in the day I loved the mince and tatties.
But my wife's a vegetarian. And
you can get a vegetarian
haggis is lovely now.
Mm-hmm. No, so that's why I kind of went for the haggis there because I was like, I can still eat that. I can still eat mince. It's just not as good when it's corn.
I don't know. Again, because I'm not a vegetarian, but since my wife is, I essentially mostly am because most of her. I'm not cooking. Neither of us want to cook 2 meals. You know what I mean? It's all right.
I can eat mince in a chili. Like I can eat corn mince in a chili, but I don't know if I'd like to eat corn mince and tatties. Maybe I should try it.
I've made it in a good lasagna, the corn mince in a good lasagna.
Oh, I have done that. I've done that before.
But I've never tried it in mince and tatties. I suppose because it is the main bit of the meal though, really, innit? It might not work, really.
Nah, I don't think it would. Anyway.
Last but by no means least, and this is the one that everyone hates.
Oh no.
Tunnocks tea cakes or caramel wafers?
Oh, tea cakes.
Oh, straight in.
Yeah, no, tea cakes. I love a wafer, but so a wee memory for you. But my nana, we used to go to my nana's maybe on like a Monday night, and she used to go to the bingo. But she used to always buy us tea cakes because she was going to the bingo, and we'd eat the tea cakes, but then we'd flatten out the foil.
Yes,
flatten out the foil, and then it was just a thing. So I always a tea cake, always. In fact, so I got on a flight I was on a cruise and I got on a flight from Norway to Glasgow with Loganair, and they gave me a cup of tea and a tea cake, and I was like, I'm coming back to you just for the tea cake.
You know how many people I've asked this question to, and when I've said I have to flatten out the tea cake, the wrapper, the amount of them that have went, oh, I've never done that, and I'm like, oh, really?
It was kind of I still do it.
Yes, so do I.
Still do it all the time.
Flatten it out. I have to flatten it out, and then I fold it very delicately into little things, and sometimes maybe tie a knot in it. Maybe fold it into triangles. No, but you have to flatten it out.
I'm normally a triangle guy, or I'll stick it on my face.
Do you remember a little while ago there was all over Scotland? There popped up the Ur Willie statues. You remember about 3 years ago? Yeah. There was one here, and because it was done by lots of different artists, everyone painted a different Ur Willie statue, and there's one here that what they've done is just covered it in Tunnocks tea cakes wrappers, the whole thing, and it looked brilliant. I loved it.
I quite like that. That's ingenious.
I mean, in fairness, they probably did it just so they had to eat a lot of Tunnocks tea cakes, but still, it doesn't matter. It works.
Hey, if that's what you've got to do.
Yeah, it's a hard life.
Sacrifice.
I know. Jai, this has been absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for sparing the time. I've loved chatting to you. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. And I'll definitely be trying chippy sauce next time I'm up in Edinburgh.
Honestly, look me up. We'll go out for a chippy. Thank you so much. Look after yourself. That was great. That was great. That was great. A great way to get started on these interviews again here. Jai was absolutely lovely. I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't checked out any of Jai's work before, please do go on. He really is just an incredible singer and such a lovely guy. But if you have enjoyed that, please remember to subscribe to Scottish Memories, either on the Broomford YouTube channel, where you might be watching it right now. Hello if you are, or if you are listening out on podcast as well. Please remember to subscribe on whatever format you get your podcasts. But wherever you are, till next time, bye humans.